All right, what's up, everyone? It's Sunday evening, running through some scans and wanted to jump on and kind of share my thoughts for the week. Before I get into some new ideas, I'm going to go through some of the positions I have from last week, starting off with Meta. As you guys remember, we were trading into the 600, 580 level, caught a really nice bounce back above the 10-day, ended up closing out my position on this day, and then we started to set up again. We were starting to put in a nice tight flag pattern. And so I was thinking, well, if this wants to go again, I want to be buying through the breakout level here. So I did on this day and ended up getting some weakness into the afternoon. I was fine holding the position as long as we were holding within the consolidation, and ended up coming in the next morning and we had the metaverse news where they were cutting spending. So got a little lucky with that, had a huge run in the pre-market and sold probably 3/4 of my position into that move. And then we opened up and had some weakness afterwards, and I was buying back into the position, added back some. Friday had an inside day. I sold a little bit on the bounce. And what could happen this week? Ideally, we'll get some more consolidation, some tighter days, and let the 10 and 20 day catch up. And then what I could see happening is breaking back out and pushing into this earnings gap where we could see a nice push higher. So that's what I would really like to see. If we can get some consolidation days, I would like to add above this pivot here, what is that, 676 area, in anticipation of it breaking above this 681 level and into that gap. So that's what I'll be looking for in Meta. But it's just overall, it's been a really good play ever since it reclaimed the 10-day. So if it caught a nice sequence in that over the last couple of weeks. Next, I was playing this Netflix on Friday. You know, it's been kind of beat up lately, and then we had the split, I believe, yeah, middle of November. And then we come in Friday and got some pretty good selling following the news that they were purchasing Warner Brothers. And so I was just thinking, you know, it was getting overdone. So I was buying it in the pre-market. Let's see here. On this move lower, and ended up kind of stabilizing going into the open, and we had this really nice opening range break here where we opened up, shot below pre-market lows, and then got rebitted super hard. All right, buyers stepped in aggressively, popped through the opening range highs here, and then had a super big squeeze, a really nice run. And then we got some really heavy selling going into lunch and into the afternoon. So I did sell some into that move. Where it goes from here, I'm not really sure. Ideally, what I'm going to do is use this low as my stop and then see if it can digest the news, reestablish itself, and see if it can pop back up the 10-day, let that come down, and see if we can get some bottoming action and maybe some kind of pattern or something where I can add to the position on a breakout of some consolidation. So that's what I'm going to see. I'm going to wait and kind of feel this out. I'm not going to get overly aggressive on this, you know, just because it's kind of oversold. I want to see some kind of confirmation to get more involved with it, more size. All right, so, but I'll be using this low here, which is like 97.74 as my stop for now. So we'll watch that this week, see how it plays out. Other one I was trading was this frog. I talked about this a few times in the room. It's an AI name, really good earnings, had a really good post-earnings move, had a 2-day run, pulled into the 10-day, and we started putting in these higher lows, okay? And then we started getting nice and tight. We had a nice level right here at 363, which is where I was buying on this day. We had some nice inside days. We've been holding the 10-day really well. And then ended up getting some really good follow through on Friday. I trimmed a little bit off, probably a little prematurely. I think this has more rooms to go. I think this could see maybe tomorrow or sometime this week we'll push through this 68.50 area, maybe make a run towards 70. But depending on how this sets up, I'll look to try and get an add on. If this wants to run tomorrow, maybe a little add through 65.50 and then see if we can get a run into 70. Otherwise, we could get a little bit tighter and let the 10-day catch up, and then that could set up for a really explosive move through 65.50. If that happens, I'll be looking to add a bit more to my position, get a little bit heavier. I think that would be a really nice base just below this high to push out and break out from. All right, so this is a really good clean play, strong earnings, lots of upgrades from analysts, putting in these higher lows, hanging on to the 10-day, just real clean action. So we'll see if we can get some follow through to the upside on this one over the coming days and weeks. The other one I traded was XLE. It was a decent setup. We had a nice pullback here, and we put in these higher lows, and then we had a decent look through this 46 area. I bought a little bit here, had a nice push on Friday. I sold into this resistance area, and then we got some pretty decent selling on this. So we'll see where it opens tomorrow and what it's looking like. What I'll probably do, if this starts breaking back below the 10-day, I'll probably just cut my position and move on. This is honestly not a really good look here from Friday, and I don't want to be, overstay my welcome. If this doesn't want to go higher, I'm going to get out and then reevaluate from there. So I'll be using this area basically 45.50. If it starts getting below that and holding, I'll cut my position. So that was XLE. And then as far as this week goes, there's a couple names I like this TEM. We reclaimed the 10-day. So first of all, we were trading it back in this when it was making some big runs, and then we've had a big sell-off since then. Reestablished itself, and then a couple of weeks ago we got a nice push back above the 10-day, and I've been consolidating above. Had some tighter days. Friday was a really nice tight inside day. Those are my favorite. Oftentimes when you have really nice tight bases, those are the best breakouts, and so that's why I want to get involved. If this starts breaking out above 68, I'll be looking to get involved with this. And TEM, when it starts going, I mean, you can make some huge runs. So if it starts to go, I definitely want to be involved with it. So 68 definitely be on my radar. Have an alert for that for if it starts to trade above it this week. So this is a play I'll be watching. CAPR, huge parabolic name. It had, I think it was phase 3 data that shot this up, and now we've had 2 tight inside days within that range. So what I'm looking for on this now is a break outside of that tight inside day, because usually what you'll have is a volatility expansion, then you'll get tight contraction, and then when you have inside days like this, you'll get another volatility expansion out of that. Whether it's to the upside or downside, I don't know, but I want to be watching. If it breaks through Friday's highs, I'm going to look to probably take it long. If it breaks through its lows, I'm going to consider a short and see if this wants to come in more. So this will be on my radar. These aren't usually the easiest plays, so I'll probably be a little bit more conservative, but if it does start to go, I definitely want to be involved. So CAPR will definitely be on my radar. Some of the other ones, QCLS from Friday, it's a day 3 gapper. Was shorting this in the pre-market, had a nice trade on this. I like this for more downside, so what I was looking at here is this put in a really nice level right here around 650. Okay, so we kind of bounced off there on Friday, and then we put in the post-market a nice level here. And if you look, going back after we topped out here, we've been putting in nothing but lower highs. Okay, and then we put a base in through at the 650 area. So I want to see this continue down to 650 and then break through that, and I think that could be a good short setup through, and maybe get it down into like the mid 5s or lower. So that's going to be a look for me this week that I'll be watching. And then the other one was that's about it. Oh, this is a major back burner play. The market, we're coming into the end of December, January. These are usually very bullish times for the market, but if for whatever reason, breaking news or something sells the market off, I like Google for some downside. This thing's had a major run. If you look at the weekly, this thing since the April tariff lows has just gone basically straight up, right? It's extended from the 10-day. It's a really big move for a big company. And I think that this, if the market wants to get weak, this one could have a decent pullback and something I'll want to watch. And I'll be watching last week's lows, right around this like 314 area. We start breaking below that, get below the 10-day. Maybe we want to make a move back down to this consolidation area. So just a back burner play in case the markets do get weak and soften up. This is what I'll be going to trade. This is what I'll be looking at. All right, so I think that's all I got so far for this week. We'll wake up tomorrow, check the scanners, see what the futures are doing, and I'll let you guys know in the room if there's anything else I'm looking at. But right now, that's what I got for you guys. And I hope you guys all had a great weekend, and I will see you bright and early in the room. Take care.